Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 9, the most confidential knowledge, text number 27. Yat karosi yad asnasi yad juhosi dadasi yat tapashyasi kaunteya tat kurus madarpanam. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. O son of Kunti, all that you do, all that you eat, all that you offer and give away, as well as all austerities that you may perform, should be done as an offering unto me. So, we are reading this chapter entitled as the most confidential knowledge. We see how the Bhagavad Gita is a gradual progression of knowledge, that the first chapter is more of like the introduction to the rest of the book. Second and third chapter, where Krishna talks about the Atma Gyan, a little bit touch on Karma Yoga, that are described as the confidential knowledge. And the topics which are discussed in seventh and eighth chapter, they are specifically related to devotional service. And because they bring enlightenment in Krishna consciousness, they are called more confidential. But the matters which are described in this particular chapter, the ninth chapter, it deal with unalloyed pure devotion. And therefore, the chapter is called the most confidential knowledge. So this ninth chapter is most confidential knowledge. And what is that most confidential knowledge? That is what Krishna is saying. So earlier we read the words where Krishna was saying, Satatam kirtan to mam yadantasya vrataha. Satatam kirtayanto mam. Always chant my name, always remember me. So this is the most confidential knowledge which had been described. Smritavya satatam Vishnu vismritavya na chatuchit sarva vidhi nisheshadu nishedashyur etayor eva kengara. So this is the confidential knowledge revealed in the scriptures. Smritavya satatam Vishnu, that always in all walk of life, whatever we do, whenever we do, we should always remember the Lord. Vismritavya na chatuchit, not for a moment we should forget Krishna. That is what is the most confidential knowledge. That is what is the Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga means that we should never forget Krishna in any situation. Right? And this principle of always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna, that is the highest principle. All other different details, vidhi and nisheda, do's and don'ts, are all subservient to this main principle. So whatever we do in a spiritual life, we follow certain rules and regulations, some austerities, so many things we do, uh, only with the one aim that we should always remember Krishna. We should never forget Krishna. So, in that thought, Krishna is further describing the previous verse. He explains that you should offer patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati. Whatever with love and devotion you offer to me, I'll take it. And now, in this verse, Krishna is explaining it's not only just you offer me some fruits or flower or some leaf and something like that, but yat karosi, yat ashnasi, yat juhosi dadasi yat. So whatever you do, yat karosi, whatever you do, yad ashnasi, whatever you eat, yad juhosi, whatever you offer, dadasi yat, if you give some charity, yat tapashyasi, if you do some austerity, o kaunteya, o son of Kunti, tat kurus madarpanam. You should, it should be done as an offering unto me. So you see, everything, whatever we do, whatever we eat, whatever we offer, charity, anything we are doing, we should make it as an offering to Krishna. And that is the way that we can constantly remain Krishna conscious. Satatam kirtayanto mam. So this is the principle here. So Krishna is saying that yat karosi, whatever you do. Now, Krishna already explained in the previous chapter, in the third chapter, he said, Nahi kaschit chanamapi jatu tishtati akarma krat. So we had to do something. Constantly we keep doing something. Without doing, we cannot remain even for a moment. Chanamapi. So we had to do. But now we should learn the art. We should mold our life in such a way that whatever we do for Krishna. So that very carefully we have to understand and learn this art under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. That whatever we do, we should do for Krishna. Certain things we understand that very obviously we do for Krishna, like says we chant Hare Krishna mantra, right? We go to the temple or something like that. Then we understand, okay, this is for Krishna only we are doing. But here Krishna is saying, whatever you do. So we do so many things. We go to office, we have to take care of so many other things in this world. So how we can do it for Krishna? So that is an art that we have to learn under the expert guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. Whatever we do for Krishna. And this is what Krishna explains, and then Krishna will further explain in the 12th chapter also that the highest goal of all this Krishna consciousness and the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita is uh, मयि एव मनादस्व मयि बुद्धिं निवेशय अनिवसिष्यसि मयि एव अथ ऊर्ध्वं न संशय. So Krishna said the highest level of consciousness is then just fix your mind upon me. Right? Maya eva mana adasva. My buddhim niveshaya. And your intelligence also should be engaged in doing something for me. That is the highest. But somebody say that, oh no, this is not possible. It is not practical for me. That just fix your mind upon me. My mind is so restless that every moment it just keep jumping like a monkey from one branch to another branch like that. That is the situation of my mind. How can I fix my mind? That is not possible at this point, at least, right? So then Krishna, being very very considerate and very accommodative, he says, okay, okay, if you can do this, then you can do the next thing. And then Krishna explained the next thing is adachittam samadhatum na shaknosi mai stiram abhyasa yogena dato mam ichchatum dhananjaya. So Krishna says, okay, if you cannot fix your mind, then what you can do? Uh, Abhyasa yogena tato mam ichchatum dhananjaya. That you should follow, you should practice the regulative principles of bhakti yoga. So follow some rules and regulations like Prabhupada has given us the rules and regulations. Uh, See, we are not able to fix our mind constantly on Krishna, but at least we can follow the rules and regulations. Like Prabhupada has given us chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra daily, at least minimum 16 rounds. Follow four regulative principles, right? Uh, and then go to temple, do some seva in the temple, and then eat only Krishna Prasadam, the food which is offered to the Lord, and like that, read the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, the scriptures like that. So these are all rules and regulations. Maybe our mind is not fixed on Krishna, but when we start to follow this, Abhyasa Yogena Dhatu, this is a regulated devotional service. When we start doing this, then what happens? We develop a desire for Krishna more and more. Right? Somebody says, okay, no, but this is also very difficult for me to follow rules and regulations. Then in the next verse, Krishna says, Abhyase api asamarthosi. If you are asamartha, if incapable of practicing this regulated devotional service, then what you should do? Mat karma paramo bhava. You should work for me. And then when you start working for me, then you will come to a perfect stage. So this is work for Krishna. Yat karosi. Whatever you do for Krishna. So now question is, uh, okay, how do we do everything for Krishna? Like if I go to office, and there, how can I do my office work for Krishna? So that we need to understand. Yes, directly we can do the direct work for Krishna. What is the direct work for Krishna? Spreading Krishna's message. Like Prabhupada started this movement, Hare Krishna movement. Prabhupada was working so much, practically 20, 22 hours every day he was working, and he was directly working for Krishna, right? So that is, of course, that is pure devotional service, that is Bhakti Yoga. But if somebody is not able to do direct work for Krishna, then Krishna is saying, you do your work, but then offer the results to me. And then gradually that will purify your work. Of course, when we offer the result, it purifies the work, and gradually it purifies your consciousness also. Not only does it purify the work, but it purify your consciousness. That so much I'm doing and I'm offering just a little to Krishna. And then you understand, no, but Krishna is the real master. He's the real owner of everything. Exist in this material world. Why I'm offering just little? I should offer more. Actually, I should offer everything to Krishna. So gradually, it's a gradual progression that Krishna is talking in the 12th chapter. That when you are doing anything, you do your work, no problem. You have a lot of desires, you have a lot of ambitions, do. But learn to offer the results. Start with some percentage, maybe not 100% in the beginning. Start with offering some 10% of your results to Krishna. So that is called karma yoga. Karma yoga means you do the karma and offer the results to Krishna to purify your karma and also gradually purify yourself. And by doing that, gradually, when the to the degree you get purified, to that degree you develop the desire. Your desires also get purified, and you want to offer more and more and more. So start uh, somewhere, some percent. It can be 5%, 10%, 20%, and gradually we should aspire to offer 100% to Krishna, and that becomes Bhakti Yoga. So, in one sense, see in Prabhupada, when we read Bhagavad Gita in Prabhupada's explanation, Prabhupada interchangeably use these words many times. Like, when third chapter is talking about Karma Yoga, Prabhupada is explaining about Bhakti Yoga. So many times people wonder, like, no, this chapter is talking about Karma Yoga, but why Prabhupada is bringing Bhakti Yoga? See, the goal of Karma Yoga is not that you become a Karma Yogi, but ultimately we all have to become a Bhakti Yogi, doing loving devotional service to Krishna. But in the beginning, if we are not prepared at that level, Maya eva mana adaswa, completely fully surrendered to Krishna Sarva Dharman Paridhaja. In the beginning, if we are not prepared, then somewhere we should start. So Krishna is creating different options for all of us. Okay, start with Karma Yoga, offer your results little by little, and then gradually develop the desire. So it is very, very important that we develop this habit, we practice all this. Yat karosi, whatever we do, we should think, we should contemplate that how I can connect my work to Krishna. Does it mean like, so somebody might take the advantage of this statement that whatever you do, offer it to me. Yat karosi. Somebody says, okay, then I'll offer everything to Krishna. So I want to eat non-veg. So, yes, I can eat the non-veg. Krishna is saying, whatever you do, you offer it to me. I'll offer to Krishna and then I'll eat. So, that is why we need to very carefully read the scriptures and, of course, under the guidance of a bona fide guru. So, Krishna already said that what you can offer to me. Patram, Pushpam, Phalam, Toyam. Some simple offering. So, something which is not objected in the scriptures that you can offer. So, when you start contemplating that, okay, I want to offer, but at the same time, it is restricting me that what I can offer. So, then you become very thoughtful, and that makes you the person uh, who does the things which is allowed in the scriptures. And by adopting that approach of doing the only things as per the Vedic injunction, then you automatically remain very pure. You doesn't do anything which is sinful. You don't get contaminated. So just one statement that if you start following, see the knowledge, this Bhagavad Gita knowledge is so powerful. Just one statement. Yat karosi, whatever you do, offer it to me. Then you should understand it in detail. Whatever I do offer to Krishna. But what can I offer to Krishna? I cannot offer each and everything like that. Somebody say I want to, drink the liquor, take the liquor. Can I offer to Krishna? No, you cannot offer. But I want to offer. Then better I'll not do this. I'll not, do drink the alcohol. I don't do. I don't eat the non-veg because I cannot offer it. And like that. So just one statement can keep us so pure, so Krishna conscious. So that is what Krishna is bringing here. Yat karosi, uh, whatever you do, you offer it to me. And then yadasnasi, whatever you eat, we all have to eat. We cannot be without eating. So Krishna is also being very, very practical. He is not saying that you don't eat or something. Krishna is saying simple, just offer it to me first and then you eat. Because when you offer to Krishna, then it becomes a sanctified food. Right? Because if we don't eat the food which is offered to Krishna, which is sanctified food, then bhunjate the agham papam ye pachanti atma karanat. So Krishna already confirmed that if you're not offering the food, then you're eating the great sin. So Krishna again, he is actually trying to help us that don't do all the sinful activities. You might think, oh no, I'm not eating non-veg, I'm eating some simple food, sattvic food. But then Bhagavad Gita explains that even eating sattvic food without offering to Krishna also is very, very sinful. So I should not be eating that. That is why Krishna is saying here, Yad Ashnasi, whatever you eat, first offer it to me. And Prabhupada explains, in his teachings that Krishna eats. We should have that Shraddha, that faith from the scriptures. That is, Krishna eats. How does Krishna eat? Krishna doesn't eat the way we eat. Many times people object like, oh no, I kept the plate of food in front of Krishna and rang the bell and chanted some mantra. And after that, the plate was as it is. So I'm not sure whether Krishna eats or not. But then we understand from the scriptures that Krishna's eating is not the way that we eat. We eat grossly, but Krishna eats subtly, sukshma. He can eat. He takes the bhav, the love and devotion of the devotee with which devotee offer the food. He may not necessarily take the gross food. So many times people think that, oh no, Krishna is not eating. But we understand, Angani yasya sakalendriya vritti manti pashyanti bhanti. So like that, Prabhupada explains that Krishna's bodily limbs, every limb can function of every other limb. So Krishna can eat even by the eyes. So when Krishna glances, when you keep the food in front of Krishna, when he shower his glances, and that is how he eats. So we understand that okay, Krishna eats. So and Krishna is asking that whatever you eat, you offer it to me. What's a big deal? And then of course again, whatever you eat doesn't mean that we can eat each and everything. So Krishna already specified that what I eat. So at least we restrict those things, those Krishna doesn't eat. So then automatically your ahar also becomes purified. Ahar shuddho, sattva suddhi. When our food becomes purified, our consciousness becomes very, very purified. Our entire existence becomes purified. And that is a great boon, that is a great blessing. That if we can uh, remain in this world pure. Otherwise, at every step, there's so many things which is designed to contaminate us, to contaminate our consciousness. So just by following the simple principles, yad karosi, yad ashnasi, yad juhosi, whatever you offer it to me. Yad tapashyasi, whatever tapasya you do. I know people might wonder, no, but we don't do tapasya. But actually speaking, we all had to do tapasya in this material world. Everything is an austerity in this material world. Right? People go get married and then to maintain the family, to produce the child and to raise the child. It's a lot of austerity for the parents. The husband and wife, they're going at work like morning 9 to 6, so many hours, 8 or 9 hours of the day. You have to work, you have to follow a boss there. So these are all austerities. So we cannot do without austerities. We had to do the austerity, so much of austerity. But if we learn how to bring Krishna into that austerity, if little austerity we can do for Krishna, like simple austerities, getting up early in the morning during Brahma Muhurta time, simple austerity, but and then utilizing that time for practicing Krishna consciousness every day, chanting some prescribed number of rounds of Hare Krishna mantra, every day reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, eating only Krishna prasadam, controlling your temptation, your urges to eat each and everything which is not even offered to Krishna. So these are all simple austerity. But by doing that austerity, we remain so pure and we get closer and closer to Krishna. Krishna becomes pleased. Oh, here is a person, here is a devotee. So much austerity is doing for my sake. I am so impressed. I am so pleased by seeing his commitment, by seeing his love and devotion towards me. And then in turn, Krishna reciprocates the devotee by blessing the devotee like that. So tapasya we had to do. And you see, in this material world, nobody wants to do the tapasya. Tapasya is a pain in this material world. People plan that when I'll get free from this work and maybe some retirement and then I can relax, or people even In day to day, you see that 5 days they work and they wait for like Saturday and Sunday so they can relax. It's very painful. But interestingly, that austerity in Krishna consciousness, austerity for the sake of Krishna, is not painful, it is blissful. Yes, of course, in the beginning it might be painful, but then, because when you take the pain for Krishna, Krishna reciprocates. And then that reciprocation, due to that reciprocation, there's a lot of experience of a lot of bliss. So you see, a devotee doesn't take an austerity as an austerity. He enjoys the austerity. They look forward for such austerities like that. Save opportunities and then fasting on certain days like Janmashtami, Radhastami, some special days like that, Ekadashi. So devotees look forward for all of that. Devotees look forward for getting up early in the morning and then nicely chanting Hare Krishna mantra. Look forward for hearing Krishna Katha. For some people, it might be austerity, or in the beginning, definitely it's an austerity, but they start relishing it. So you see, we had to do the austerity, but if we do this austerity for Krishna, then it becomes so blissful experience like that. And then yat karosi, yat juhosi, yat asnasi, yat juhosi, yat tapashyasi, and dadasi yat. Krishna says, whatever you do the charity, everybody does the charity in some way or other. Maybe small or big scale. So the charity also should be rightly channelized. Prabhupada explains here that this charity should be given for furthering Krishna consciousness, for spreading Krishna consciousness. That is the best charity. Yes, of course, we can help the people. Sometimes you see some poor, some hungry, you can give them prasadam. But we should understand that another element of this charity is, yes, it is important to help the needy people, but that is a very temporary help. It's not the real help. Actually, you see, when somebody is hungry, you give them the food. It will definitely at that moment, uh, you know, it will be a great help to that hungry person getting a good food. But after a few hours, 3, 4, 5 hours, again, he will feel hungry, right? So our offering or charity or help is also very, very limited for whatever reasons, but it is always limited. And the person who is receiving the charity, he is definitely getting benefited, but that is not the real benefit. We understand from the scriptures that the root cause of suffering in this material world is forgetfulness of Krishna. And that suffering can come in so many different forms, right? So, having understood that, we should always consider that when I'm doing any charity, how can I give Krishna to that person? So, I'm giving the food to this person. Can I offer the food to Krishna and give the prasad to that person? So, along with the food, that person also get little bit touch of Krishna, and that will be the real. So, there is a painkiller and there is an antibiotic. Painkiller will temporarily, give you the relief from your pain, but again the pain will come. But if you start taking the antibiotic, that will uproot the infection, from its root, like that. So this Krishna consciousness is the real remedy for all the problems, all the suffering in this material world. So we should also consider that whatever we are offering, we should bring the touch of Krishna in this. That is what Krishna is saying here, that whatever you give, first offer it to me. So we should find to do the charity in a Krishna conscious way. And like that, we get purified, we help. It is a real help which can be offered to an individual at the social level, on the national level, on the universal level. Krishna consciousness is the only remedy, only solution for all the suffering humanity. And that is why Prabhupada is saying here that this charity should be given for furthering Krishna consciousness. Because of the lack of Krishna consciousness, because of the lack of this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, people are committing so much sin in this material world, and that will result in so much suffering in this material world. So this knowledge has to be spread, and this is the real charity. The distributing this knowledge. That is why Prabhupada started this book distribution program, distributing this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, going out in the streets. Devotees, they spend hours and hours going out in the street, taking all the austerities, all the tapasya, you know, in the hot sun, and not in very favorable situation, not with very favorable people they encounter, and then they are still committed to take that austerity to distribute this knowledge, and that is the real charity. So like that. We understand here. So this is very, very important verse to contemplate and start gradually, molding our life in such a way that whatever we do, whatever we eat, whatever we offer, whatever austerity we do, whatever charity we do, tat kuru sumadarpanam. We should think that how can I offer it to Krishna? How can I bring Krishna into the center of all of this? Right? Now, before we close, the last thought on this verse is many times people might ask that, oh, it sounds like Krishna is too demanding. Why is demanding so much? Why can't he just make the things very simple? He understands that it's very difficult to do all of those things for most of the people. Why is so demanding? We should understand it is not, Krishna is not like demanding or like bossing that, oh, give it to me, only I'm the boss. But Krishna is a loving father, caring father. So he's talking all of this out of care and concern. Because Shastra explains, Ishavasham idam sarvam yat kinchit jagatyam jagat. So we understand that everything in this creation, the entire creation belongs to Krishna. He's the owner. So Krishna is saying that yes, I am the owner, I am like a father. And father naturally want that all my children should enjoy. But they should enjoy in a right way, not in a way that which is very detrimental or harmful. So then father becomes a little alarmed and say, "Oh no, you cannot do this, you cannot do that." And that is so. It's not like he's bossing over, but he's out of concern. He's saying, "If you do this, you will be the one who will be pained. You will be suffering." So out of concern, he's saying that offer it to me. This is the right way to do. If you don't do that, we end up becoming like a thief that you just without permission you are taking from the store. Then somebody says that, please do not take like this. Somebody says, oh, why you're so demanding? Why should I not take? Because if you take like this without asking the owner or without his permission and approval and sanction, then you'll be labeled as a thief, and then there is a punishment for a thief. So Krishna is not demanding. Basically, he's a loving father and is guiding us that there's a right way to enjoy in this material world, right way to utilize the things. So this is the right way. That whatever you do, offer it to me, and that way you can enjoy. Okay, so these are some of the thoughts on this verse. I'll stop here and let me see anybody's any quick question or any comment. You can unmute yourself and ask the question. Okay, there's no question. I'll stop here. Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.